stop it.
Yo, I don't know what's going on. I don't got no sound. None of it. No fucking sound on my end. It's always something. It's always something, G. My soundboard's back working. It wasn't working the other day. Now it's working today, and now I can't hear sound. It's back. Soundboard, I can hear. Let me see. Can y'all hear the background music playing? I don't have any sound. Yo. Yo. Yeah, I don't got sound. Yo. Peace. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing fine on today. The first day of the official business week. Hope y'all was productive. Hope y'all handled y'all business. God knows what y'all needed to get done. And now that that's in the bag, it's time for us to have a little bit of conversation, a little bit of fun. You heard? The humble host, he and I, now is him, slim, trim, and I'm built to, and I am Granny's baby, numero uno. You heard? Appreciate all the support, appreciate all the love, appreciate y'all coming through, hitting buttons, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and all that good stuff. You heard? From here to there, it's much appreciated. Sabby Sabs had an interview with a guy, retired colonel, and they broke down the Iran stuff and they gave their takes on it pretty much. She asked him questions. I saw part of it, didn't get to see the whole interview because I believe at that time I was also shooting my show, I think. But I saw pieces of it and I figured we'll do a review on it. Especially because it's a hot button topic right now. Everybody's talking about it's been on the news all day. Every time I check the news, I saw it up there. So let's chop it up. Hear from retired Colonel Lawrence Wilkerson. Boom. Throw this up here. Shout out to Sabby Sabs. For what I've seen so far, it looks good. Sabby Sab is becoming slowly but surely one of our preferred people to listen to. For real. Shout out to Sabby Sabs. Her voice is nice, good looking on the eyes, easy on the eyes, humble, kind of sweet. I like her cheeks though. Like her cheeks right here, they're so rosy. But shout out to Sabby Sab. She got a little team over there. They doing their motherfucking thing. So shout out to you. Appreciate all the love. Appreciate it. I think I tagged you in this so you get your credit. I'm about to do a review. If you pop into the chat today, say what's up. You heard? You had a friend over here, right? You had a friend in me. So far at least. You heard? I don't want to play. But yeah, I swear it's over. Boom. Let me try reloading. Boy, this StreamYard, boy. Jesus, have mercy. Dallas, what up? Stop picking up women. What are you trying to pick up, Sabby? Now I don't want to play. It's about a month, boy. Salam alaikum, bro. Peace. What the Oh my god. I have to send it. Well, you have to hunt down the video and then you have to stream it from your side. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't got set on it.
You know what they say? See a broad to get that booty yak 'em? Leg her down or smack 'em, yak 'em. Cold got to be. You know?
This is fucking madness, bro.
I want some more motherfucking money.
None of it. I can hear none of it. I can't even hear what Sabby is saying. So now that's playing. I can't hear what she's saying. This is fucking horse shit. StreamYard got beef with white. Bruh, it's something, dog. It's something. This technology. Word up. Word. StreamYard. I believe it, dog. Cause I can't get no sound. I have no sound. When I play my drops, no sound. I play my intro, no sound.
Stop. Stop.
Let me try refreshing, dog. You know what? Let me close that one. Let me close that one. I still should get sound. That's the issue. I still should get sound. Oh, my Erica drop. Yeah, y'all could hear it, but I can't hear it. That's why I asked y'all if y'all had sound earlier.
I want some more motherfucking money.
Oh, no sound at all. This is fucking horseshit. Oh my god. That's not for Sabby saying. Oh yeah, she does that sound thing in the beginning. Coach Colin got one too. He got like a signature sound that he does in the beginning of the show. Coach Colin got one. This is craziness, bro. Nap, what up? This is fucking horseshit. I got zero fucking sound, bro. Stay right there. I'm about to refresh. Earlier, I had no cam. Now I got no sound.
I want some more motherfucking money. I want some more motherfucking money.
Here we go. I got it. It's running. Let me add Sabby back. Thanks for hanging out and going through the growing pains with me here. But it's running. I got sound now.
Staff to Colin Powell. Let's go ahead and I want to go ahead and bring in our special guest. Many of you have seen him here before. His name is Colonel Larry Wilkerson. He is a retired colonel. He is also the former chief of staff to Colin Powell. Let's go ahead and bring him in. Welcome back, Larry.
Good to be with you, Sabby, even if it is a sad moment or two.
We are living in some crazy, dangerous times. It's funny, when I reached out to you, for those who don't know, when I invited Larry to come back on the show, that was actually right before Israel and Iran, and the U.S. struck Iran.
All right, quick history on Buddy, real quick. He spent 31 years in the Army, served in Vietnam. He's a Republican. He had 2 kids, served under Colin Powell as a chief of staff to Colin Powell. Colonel Powell. Colin Powell is a 4-star general in the Army. This guy has a degree from Bucknell University. Also attended the Naval War College in Rhode Island. Went back there, taught there. Then he served as deputy director for the Marine Corps War College. So he knows what he's talking about. He's very, very, very well versed in warfare and these things. That's the reason why he's the one that she chose to interview and speak to about this, right? His name is Lawrence Wilkerson, retired Army colonel. All right. Boom.
So I think it was Friday when I sent you the request, and then they struck. Yeah. So I had a feeling this was coming. I want to start off with some of the updates that have taken place. So for those who are not aware, Israel did announce that they killed Ali Khamenei. Iran has confirmed that. And I think you need to hear what was said on Press TV. They are already saying that there will be revenge. Listen to this.
The devils of the world will celebrate. And everybody, they have managed to brainwash. But this is not over. Trump is going to pay a price paid by no American president.
Why they make my man voice sound like that, G? They fucking childish.
At all time, paid by no Zionist of all time, paid by no criminal of all time. Trump is going to see, because revenge is coming, and revenge is coming soon, and revenge is coming after Trump.
Why they make my man sound like a disgruntled Karen? Son, they wild as fuck for that shit. They wild as fuck.
That's weird.
After everybody who facilitated this assassination, he will pay the ultimate price. And it's not only by the millions of Iranians, it's not only by the millions in resistance countries, it's also by those who have newly joined the resistance.
Yeah. So this was the sound that was going across the airwaves yesterday. And I also wanted to point this out to people as well. Right now, a lot of
Yeah, I want to laugh so hard at that voice they gave.
Stop.
What they do? They childish, bro. Before we get ahead of ourselves, though, before we start getting into the thick of it and into the nitty gritty, let's we drop the disclaimer. You hear me?
Content warning. This video is about a sensitive topic involving violence. assault and loss of life. We've removed any graphic or descriptive content to comply with YouTube's guidelines. The aim of this video is to provide informative, factual journalism on tragic events in the public interest that does not dismiss its seriousness. All clips shown are under the doctrine of fair use for news reporting and analysis, and some points made in this video are simply opinions and theories. I'm not responsible for third-party information, and this video is being made purely for artistic, educational, documentary, and scientific purposes.
Real talk, G. Real talk, they bugging with that damn voice. Valhalla got banned. What the fuck? For what? I didn't see Valhalla getting banned. I'm gonna look into it though. That's fucked.
Corporate media outlets are telling you that everyone's celebrating in Iran after Khamenei has been killed. They're not showing you this side of it. Iranians come out to mourn the death of Khamenei. Looks like we are viewed as liberators. Meanwhile, Ynet reports that President Trump reached out to Iran through Italy to request a ceasefire, and it was rejected. So just a quick look here. These are all the people that came out to mourn his death. So I just wanted you guys to see how many people came out there to mourn his death. Colonel Wilkerson, what are your thoughts on the assassination?
That's the thing about it too, though, right? You're gonna get a mixed bag, just like in any country. Not everybody's gonna be fucking with the president. It's just that simple. Like I don't see, like, it's two things I'm weary about. Bullshit news and information. I'm extremely on edge. Not on edge, but I'm wary about it. Because at no time more prevalent, more pertinent than now we could put out bad information. Like last night I was up hella late trying to figure out if Bibi Netanyahu was also eliminated. That was a rumor that went around. And me and the homie got on the line and we was chopping it up about Netanyahu, about military movements, shit like that. We're looking at the map and talking about all the other shit. Like we was on the phone for like 4 hours last night, just chopping it up about it. But it's crazy because you're gonna see people that basically like the Ayatollah. You're gonna see people that didn't like the Ayatollah. You're gonna get a mixed bag. Then you have people that's dead set in the center who's not affected, right? Let's say they're not even in Iran, right? They're not even in Iran. Are they affected? Not really. Could they have feelings about it? Yes. Could they not have feelings about it? Yes. You're gonna get a mixed bag of people's opinions. What do you mean with behind the gun? What? Golly, bruh. Get the fuck. Valhalla took a LG. That fucking sucks, bro.
Assassination of Khamenei again, and people are already referring to him as a martyr.
Let me just say that your opening there with that crowd mourning the death of the Ayatollah is a perfect example of one of the things that's wrong with this situation. We have been lied to. We have been propagandized. We have been told multiple falsehoods about Iran, to include the fact that they're a threat to us. They have nothing that threatens us, absolutely nothing. That they're the greatest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. Look at the State Department's own reports on terrorism in the world. For the past 30 years, Iran is down at the bottom of the list. You know who's at the top of the list? Really should be at the top of the list? Israel.
All right, we know who's going to say it. We know who the fuck he was going to say, right? We know he's going to say literacy. Cool. With Sabby, I'm not going to agree with everything that Sabby says, right? I'm going to have difference of opinion and different stance in life, right? But still, if you look at her as a creator of content and a talking head, pundit, then the motherfucker does solid work, and you can't take that away from her. You can't take that away from her, right? Agree, disagree, doesn't matter. If we could just look at it for what it is, like she does great work. I like that. I think she's pretty fucking dope, to be honest. Do I agree all the time? No. And that's the good thing about us being adults, right? And us being mature. We could look at things objectively. We should be able to look at things objectively, right?
Israel is the greatest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. All you have to do is look at Gaza to see it happening. All you have to do is Lebanon to see it happening. All you have to do is look at Syria to see it happening. All you have to do is look at the West Bank and Jerusalem to see it happening. So that's the first thing, is that we have been lied to repeatedly. And let me get your listeners to think about something. In 1953, we overthrew the first democratically elected leader of Iran, Mohammed Mossadegh, in a CIA MI6 British intelligence sponsored operation. We installed the Shah. For 26 years, the Shah was a tyrant. Towards the end of that time, he was worse than a tyrant, and they overthrew him and installed the first Ayatollah, Khomeini.
Revolution.
That was the revolution. Ever since that time, we have been trying murderously to beat back these people who essentially beat us. And what does that mean? When I say that, what's that mean in history? It means that right after that happened, right after the Shah was kicked out, we backed Iraq and Saddam Hussein in an attack on Iran that lasted 8 years, and for the region was the bloodiest war in 1,000 years. It was as bad as World War I in the region. This war lasted 8 years. At the end of that 8 years, we threw our full weight behind Saddam Hussein, and the Iranians had to concede. Otherwise, they were going to go to Baghdad, and we didn't want that. What happened at the end of that war? Vincennes, one of our ultra-modern cruisers in the Persian Gulf, shot down an Iranian Airbus civilian flight, killing 290 or so Iranian civilians. The Ayatollah even said, this is more than I can handle. I can handle Iraq, but I can't handle the United States backing him. And he accepted the UN peace agreement for stopping that war. Ever since then, this is a lurid history, Sabby, absolutely lurid. And our press doesn't tell us anything about it. Ever since then, we've been trying to overthrow the leadership.
Listen to this real quick.
Where radical Islam took over Iran. Look at some of these pictures of what Iran used to be. It was wealthy, it was proud, it was strong. The Persians are wonderful people. Some of my closest friends are Persians, and I love the Persian people. And we should have a heart for the Persian people to try and have a better future. Regime change is very difficult to talk about. I actually don't like talking about regime change. It's very complicated, but understand that there can be brighter days ahead for the Iranian people. And just look at some of these pictures of how beautiful Iran used to be, how beautiful Tehran used to be. And it's very easy to kind of sit in your Western armchair and be like, oh, Israel's terrible. Well, you were able to enjoy free speech rights and a lot of rights here in the West that Iran used to have. And if you are serious about actually protecting human rights, you should want to make Iran Western again.
You dig it? That is correct. That's absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct now.
In Iran. The leadership in Iran presents no threat to the United States of America. This nonsense about them building ballistic missiles and putting warheads on it with nuclear weapons. They don't even have a nuclear weapon. And they've disavowed nuclear weapons. So this is all cocked up. You got to believe that the American people are finally waking up.
I forgot who I was talking to about this, about the uranium enrichment. And they have enrichment, they have uranium that's enriched, right? That they get from I think Russia is their main source. But to have a nuclear device, you have to enrich uranium to like, I think it's 70% enriched, but they only running like a 5% enrichment, which means it's for energy. You dig it? Because they running nuclear energy. Woman could be, yeah. Iran is not even the same place, bro. But you got to think too. At the same time, we're talking about easily 50-something years, right? It's 50-something, it's about 50 years that they've been under the Ayatollah. You smell it? So when you look at it like that, a lot could happen in 50 years. A lot of things could just be bogged down in 50 years. The first 5 years might be hard to get people on board with you, whatever the case is, but 50 years, that's kind of like a dictatorship in a sense. I'm not saying that they don't live. I'm not saying they do live in a dictatorship, but I'm saying 50 years of reign, 50 years of control of a country is a long time. What's up, Red?
The polls a few minutes ago, right before I came on, 2 polls, 29% in one and 25% in the other support this war. I don't see that going anywhere but further down, because this is a tragedy. This is an absolute tragedy. Now we have Israel, the real architect of this entire campaign. We have Israel having suffered in one strike, as I understand it. They had 9 killed, 70 wounded, 6 missing, and it was a bomb shelter in central Israel that was struck by an Iranian missile. So we're going to get casualty after casualty in this. This isn't going to be any kind of cakewalk for anybody. There are going to be deaths on all sides in this. And if it weren't for the fact that the United States is there in such force, Israel would go down. There's no question in my mind. Iran would destroy Israel. But because we are there in such force, we can at least put a halt to the more horrendous attempts that they will make on Israel. But if it weren't that case, if we weren't there to protect them, they would probably go down. They would go down. And what does that mean? In Bibi's terms, 2 nights ago, Bibi gave...
Did I not tell y'all that? I told y'all. The other day, Americans are very anti-war these days. They are not into this war shit. It is not the same as 2001, 2002. It's not the same. Americans are extremely anti-war. Furthermore, like I've been watching it, I've been paying attention, and we watching Iran respond. Hold on, let me find the I think here we go right here. Let me share this with you real quick. This is a list right here. This is record breaking. Iran has literally broken a world record of places attacked. We know they got Lersey, USA. And that's one I want to talk about a little bit also, because I don't think people know about it. But there was an attack already in America. UAE, which is Dubai, Saudi, because they're beefing with the Saudi king over there, because he's now friendly with the US, and it's something else that he did too. I can't remember what it was, but he's friendly with the US. Qatar, right on the water. Qatar's playing defense, so they hit their fucking ass. Kuwait got hit. Them F-15s went down. F-15s, yeah, the F-15 jets went down in Kuwait. Jordan, you on the way to motherfucking Israel. You getting, they are knocking shit out, bro. They are knocking shit out in that whole region. It's pure stress, though. They're not playing. I didn't even know if they hit Cyprus. I know Cyprus is extremely close, and they could. Cyprus is watching what's going on in Lersey. The France one, I think they labeling France and Italy and UK in them because of the bases. Not necessarily that they're saying they are hitting the country itself. All those bases. Hold on. Where's that damn picture at? No, that's not the. Where's the bases at? That's the strike zone. That's the ships. That's the strike zone in Iran. I have a picture. I gotta find it. No. I lied. It's not a picture. I know where it is. Hold on. Yeah, y'all hanging out with me for a little bit tonight. So just chill. I want to talk about the oil thing next, but I've already started late, so I'm not gonna burn this candle on both ends tonight with y'all, right? But know that oil is gonna be affected. So if you're into the stock market game, you might could make a lick. Oil is about to go up. Just based off of who they the supply lines are for supply lines for Iran. Big Kofa, what you got, big brother? 20 plus years of being in war and armed conflict. The media, it'll burn anyone. Yeah, I agree, bro.
I need money.
Thank you, big bro, for supporting. You already know it's a love thing, G. But this is the spots right here. These are bases. This is Iran. These are bases. This is Bahrain and Abu Dhabi and all that. Qatar, Kuwait. Them jets went down in Kuwait. I forgot what is going on with Saudi. I think Saudi is friendly with them and Saudi's giving them refuge. But I think Saudi, is it Saudi? One of these countries in this region is pissed off at America now because America didn't run defense for them. I want to say Saudi. See the Saudi, maybe Qatar. America didn't run defense for them. Don't tell them to do. I'm gonna do. They'll leave it all. You want to claim and see. It's bad, bro. Not as bad. For one, they taught that when they ran them strikes, for one, Iran would buckle. They really did think Iran was gonna buckle and bend down and say pretty much no more. Right? Pretty much just saying no more. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure if they actually hit Italy and France, like the land of Italy and France. But I know for a fact these bases in this region, they're what you call like joint bases. So like if you go to Bahrain, Qatar, down there by Dubai and all that shit, those bases are out there. Even that base that's in Saudi, it's a joint base. So you go there, and what joint means, normally you hear joint and you think it's like the Navy, the Army, the Marine Corps, Air Force getting together, and they all American. These are international joint bases. So you go there and you might see France, you might see Germany, right? You're pretty much going to see NATO allied countries. That makes sense to y'all. NATO, right? NATO, not an Atlantic Treaty. Them countries, right? You seeing different countries in those bases is not uncommon. Smell me? So they can hit those bases, and it can still count as an attack against the country itself. Because if you think about it, for real, they ain't hit America. They did, but it looks kind of like a rogue thing. If you're not sure what I'm talking about the dude who clapped up Austin, Texas. That's being counted as a part of terror. It is because the dude, his country of origin, his religion, all the other shit. Dallas said Austin. Dallas, you can speak your mind, sweetheart. Feel free.
The speech in Hebrew. You always want to listen to his speeches in Hebrew, because when he speaks in English, he's speaking to you and me. But when he speaks in Hebrew, he's speaking to his own people in his cabin. And at the end of that speech, he said, "If this doesn't succeed, you are going to suffer the most horrendous attack imaginable to man." Those are his words in Hebrew. And I'm telling you, you know what he means. He means if it gets so bad that
Tree Star in the town square. What up, boy? My G, what up?
Israel truly is existentially threatened, he's going to use a nuclear weapon or two. He's got 200 plus.
This is insane.
This is the most dangerous man in the world, Sabby. The most dangerous and the most. He's got 80% of the Israeli Jews behind him. Now, there's 14 million people in Israel, or was 14 million. A lot of them have left, but half of them are Palestinian, Arabs, Christians, and so forth. The 7 million
So what he's talking about, the Samson, it's a Samson Initiative, I believe it's called. And pretty much is we gonna tear this motherfucker up. Pretty much. If we start losing, there is no barrier or limit that we will go to. It's limitless destruction. If we finna lose, everybody gonna feel it. I think it's called a Samson Initiative. But there's another one too, Samson and something else. But pretty much they're saying if we lose and we tearing this motherfucker apart, meaning, yes, nuclear devices. Yes, they do have nuclear devices. That's what he's referring to right now.
And Jews that are in Israel, I think it's probably like about 6 now, because about 1 million have left, scared to death to stay. They support him. 80% of them in polls support him in what he's doing. So it's not like they got a tyrant in charge of them. They're all tyrants, or at least a good percentage of them. At least 80% of them are, who keep voting for it in the polls and keep voting for him. And that's another thing. One reason he's doing all this right now is because he's going to stand election. And he doesn't want to leave office, because if he leaves office, he's going to jail.
Yeah. I have to show people how this is.
The reason why he's going to jail is because they want to try him for war crimes. And you know you're being tried for war crimes. You're not talking about it ain't fucking Lacy taking him to court or trial for war crimes. It's the world. The world court is going to sit his ass down for war crimes. But if I'm not mistaken, in times of war, they can't have a change of power. And I think that's not significant to literacy. I think a lot of countries have that written in times of war. They can't shift power over. What you got, Dallas? I was just listening to people from there talking about something different. I mean, it's gonna be different perspectives, though, love. You smell me? Just a natural way of things. Like, let's say I'm a pro literacy person, then I'm gonna be talking pro literacy constantly, right? No matter what's going on, my speech and my thought and my actions are gonna be skewed, biased. You smell me? So you're gonna hear different. You're gonna hear different perspectives. Let's just call them perspectives. Different speech. You're gonna hear different opinions and shit, right? But you gotta use your own discernment and do your own little research. It don't even take long, right? I've been watching weapons fall out the sky for the past 48 hours, pretty much in literacy, like nonstop, bro. Good night, big brother. How you holding up, bro? Just hit me on the sideline. Quick check it, tap it, make sure you know what I'm saying. You're straight out there in them streets. M Love, what up, Jit? But yeah, just do a little bit of research, because I don't have to do any research. It's literally in my feed constantly. Like, my algorithm has changed into this. I'm just constantly getting fed. That's why I could go to the Twitter and pull it up immediately, because it's in my feed. It's in my IG feed. It's in my Twitter feed. It's just constantly flowing through my phone. So I'm getting stuff, positive stuff about both sides. I'm getting negative stuff about both sides, right? But knowing just enough history of literacy, a little bit about Iran, a little bit about USA, a little bit about Saudi, like that region and how conflict has always gone in that region, you could kind of realize that nothing has really changed. It's the same shit in and out. That's why Charlie was talking about, he's not a fan of regime changes. And he said that they're messy, they're convoluted, right? It's a complete mess when you talk about regime changing. Look at Mexico. America, along with Mexico, just forced a regime change. Trent, what you talking about? They knocked off Mencho, El Mencho got knocked off, right? Him and a couple of his guys. So now they going through the rankings of the Jalisco cartel, the CJNG, to figure out who's going to be the next one in power. That's a power deficit, power vacuums. Things happen in those times that not necessarily go towards the effort that you think was going to go to. Where sometimes you think you crippling this regime and bring this regime down. Sometimes you might cut the snake head off, and this motherfucker grow two heads. The same way how Jalisco was born, right? Two different cartels coming together, fighting it out. One cartel becoming the dominant cartel, knocking that cartel down. Then they all joining together. Now they started mixing in with the locals. Sometimes you think you're cutting off the head of the snake, bro, and this motherfucker grows two heads on you. You dig it? That's why those strict, fast, violent swaps, they do not really work out, and it's in history already. You dig it?
Going to impact the entire world, right? So the Strait of Hormuz. This is a big one for those who have not been paying attention just recently. This is from Professor Morandi, which I chatted with to make sure he's okay. Earlier today in the Gulf of Oman, all ships and tankers in the Gulf of Oman and the Persian Gulf may soon face the same fate. Netanyahu and his sidekick Trump are on the verge of crashing the global economy. This is one of the oil tankers that was hit. And then for a number of people who are not familiar with the Strait of Hormuz, I do want people to see this. From the Financial Times, brokers have told the Financial Times that the war risk insurers have submitted cancellation notices for policies covering ships moving through the Strait of Hormuz, a key oil checkpoint with prices set to rise as much as 50% in the coming days. So for the people, and I think this is what drives me crazy, Colonel Wilkerson, when people say, I don't care about what's going on over there. Yeah. I just care about what's happening in the U.S. I bet you they'll care when these gas prices go up.
They are going to care. They cared the last time this happened. And I was in Pacific Command the last time this happened, and Iran was not nearly as capable as they are today of closing that strait and of impacting the ships in that strait and in that Persian Gulf. Not only that, Al-Ansar in Yemen, the Houthis, are now going to close the Red Sea again. And we've already shown, Petey Hegseth showed, that we can't open that sea because before we put billions of dollars and lots of ships trying to do that, and we couldn't do it. We couldn't beat the Houthis. They cost us billions of dollars. They shot down our drones. They caused the carrier to turn too fast in the Red Sea and pushed a $1 million airplane off into the Red Sea. Yep. We quit and left the Red Sea because we couldn't stop them. So that's an even more important, the Bab el-Mandeb, the strait at the southern end of the Red Sea, is even more important than the Strait of Hormuz. So you've got two straits that are critical to world commerce that are going to be threatened, if not closed temporarily in this war. This is a disaster. And I was looking at what we did before when it happened. We reflagged Kuwaiti tankers with the U.S. Navy and escorted them through. Well, Iran is a lot more capable today, but even then they were able to put mines in the water. They hit Bridgerton, one big tanker. They hit a U.S. Navy ship and almost sunk it. There's no question right now that they could sink.
Yeah, you're gonna hear it both ways. Some people are going to back the Ayatollah. Some people are not going to back the Ayatollah. Some people back Trump. Some people don't back Trump. Some people back Kamala. Some people don't back Kamala. You're going to get a mixed bag of it. That's just how it is. Especially when you're talking about politics and people. It's just going to be that way. That's just how it is, dog. It's the nature of the beast. So now the ships will have to go down around South Africa. Okay, perfect example. Look at this shit right here. I was looking at this earlier. This is flight radar. This is active right now. This is what's going on right now in the world. Look at that big ass gap. Ain't nobody cutting through that bitch. All them airways are shut down. All of them. I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised these motherfuckers got action this close. Down here by Oman and Saudi. I really am surprised that this much action So this is pretty much, if you're looking at Saudi, it's pretty much the middle. They cutting across the middle of Saudi Arabia. I'm surprised at that. Would you see what's a no-go? Syria, Iraq, Lyrsey, top of Saudi, the whole Iran, 1/3 of Afghanistan, 1/4 of Pakistan, right? What if we took Venezuela in preparation for this? That's exactly why it happened. Well said. They just shut off another oil supply that was going to that region, remember? Well said, bro. Well said. Way to think. Way to use that fucking brain. Whole region empty. Whole region. From here, all the way out. All the way out to here. Halfway through Saudi. Right? Cutting up to Greece. Cairo. 1/4 Pakistan. 1/3 Afghanistan. Around Iran. Going over to Georgia. And cutting up to the top of Turkey. The whole shit is no-fly zone zone. It's not a fucking game. Are they embargoed by the US? That's OPEC. That region is OPEC region. All the oil come from. No, I don't even know they're part of OPEC anymore. I'm looking at that. I'm looking into that. From the last thing I checked, they were still into OPEC.
Escort, maybe even an aircraft carrier. We're talking about huge casualties here. And we're talking about Trump. I don't think, I've got to think Trump doesn't have a clue. He's got to not have a clue about what Iran's abilities are versus our force disposition in the region. And for that matter, what they are against Israel. I heard today, I hope it's true, that he's thinking and talking about giving them a breather and maybe going back to talks again. Well, if I were the Iranians, I wouldn't even accept that. I wouldn't in any way accept that. That's what we were doing. Again, for the second time. We were in negotiations. We told the Iranians, Witkoff told the Iranians, we'll be back. We'll be back. We're coming back. And then we bombed them. Then we started this current war. This is unconscionable what we're doing.
Remember we talked about it the first night it happened? Saturday? Remember Saturday? We was all sitting in here and we talked, and that's when the homies and them brought up Ramadan, and they brought up the Sabbath. And when we started talking about it more, we realized M Love was here, Roddy here, we was all in here talking that shit. In the middle of fucking peace negotiations, though. The dude was in America just now. I think it was the foreign minister, but just in America chopping it up. I got another video. I gotta find it, but it's a video about how the negotiations went.
We're destroying our reputation in the world, utterly destroying it.
100%. And I want to show people something. This is a really good video. We're not going to play the whole thing, but just to give you a gist of it, I want you guys to see how this would impact so many other countries and how it gives the boomerang effect to us as well.
If Iran blocks the Strait of Hormuz, what impact will it have on the entire world, and which country will be affected the most? First, let's understand what the Strait of Hormuz actually is. It is a small area of just 33 kilometers located between Iran, Oman, and the UAE. It is a narrow sea passage through which almost 20% of the world's oil supply flows, nearly 17 million barrels every day. This oil comes from 8 countries located in the Persian Gulf, including Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE for the United Arab Emirates. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Qatar, 90% of their oil exports pass through this narrow route to reach the rest of the world. If Iran blocks the Strait of Hormuz, following countries will suffer the most damage. First is India, because it imports 85% of its oil, and 60% of that comes from Middle Eastern countries like Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and the UAE. Fuel prices in India would skyrocket, and as a result, everything related to oil and all industries would face severe disruption. Industries could shut down, there would be job losses, and the economy would be severely affected. The second most affected country would be China. China is the world's largest oil importer, bringing in 10 million barrels of oil every day. 40% of China's oil imports pass through this Strait of Hormuz. Although China has built oil pipelines with Russia and Central Asia, they don't even fulfill 20% of its energy needs. So, if the Strait of Hormuz is blocked, China's economy could suffer a massive blow, and if China's economy is shaken, its effects will be felt all over the world. The third most affected country would be Japan, as it imports 90% of its oil, and 75% of that passes through the Strait of Hormuz. The fourth most affected country would be Saudi Arabia. 80 to 90% of Saudi Arabia's oil goes to the rest of the world through Strait of Hormuz, while only 10% goes to Europe via its Red Sea coastline. So if this choke point is blocked, Saudi Arabia's economy will be heavily impacted. Imagine that a country suddenly loses 80 to 90% of its revenue. What would happen to it? Something similar could happen to Saudi Arabia.
So you guys get the gist of it. But this is the wild impact of all of this. And we depend on Saudi Arabia and all these other countries for oil as well. And I think Down with the Click made a good point here. Now I see why Trump needed Venezuela's oil so bad. So you see this.
Repo, there you go. You got your confirmation, brother.
We were telling people, right?
I'm telling you, I think the ultimate reason has nothing to do with the nuclear program, has nothing to do with ballistic missiles, nothing to do with terrorism. I think what Trump really wants, what the people behind Trump really want, is Iranian oil. I think that's really what they want. And it's just like Venezuela. And that's what Trump is after. But if can you put that picture back up there again for a second? Mm-hmm. If you look at the northern end of that sea, we have two Navy combatants in there. That water is so shallow and the turn radius so narrow that those ships could be sunk at any moment. They could be sunk with mines, they could be sunk by missiles, they could be sunk by any number of different methods that the Iranians have at their beck and call. And that's a couple of hundred sailors dead in one fell swoop. Why we have those ships in there is beyond me. When I was working in Pacific Command back in the 80s, when the war was going on then between Iran and Iraq, there's no way we'd have dared to put a combatant in that narrow sea. And yet that's what we're doing now. I don't understand this action. I don't understand what the Navy's doing. I don't understand what they did in the Red Sea. I know they got run out of the Red Sea. So this is just a disaster waiting to happen. And all Iran is doing is waiting for the propitious moment to cause the disaster.
That's right. And speaking of disaster, a number of U.S. bases have been hit pretty heavily.
This is the Red Sea right here, y'all. This is the Horn of Hormuz, right? This is the Red Sea right here. This is what they're talking about. This is the Red Sea. And up in here is where you get the this is the Red Sea right here. On the other side of pretty much Saudi. Pretty much on the other side of Saudi. The Horn of Africa, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Somalia. What's all this right here? The Horn of Africa. What you got right here? Suez Canal right here. That's how they get from the Med, pretty much being in Europe, sliding right down and being in Africa. The Suez Canal. Here. But this is, yes, so this is it right here. This is the Med, red. No. This is the Med, Suez, Med, red, Arabian Sea, Horn of Hormuz. This is the choke point that they're talking about right here. This choke point right here. It's actually 3 choke points. One, yeah, it's a bad run. Persian Gulf. You heard? Danny boy, what up? Back to the video.
There seemed to be a strike that also had an impact.
Oh, I wasn't showing the map just now? Oh, damn, my bad. All right, my bad. Okay. Here's the Suez right here. Suez Canal. This is the Mediterranean Sea up here, right? This is the Suez Canal. Takes you from Europe through the Suez, brings you into the Red. The Red Sea puts you pretty much between Africa and Saudi. All this is the Red Sea. We end up having Eritrea, Ethiopia, Djibouti, Somalia, the Horn of Africa right here, Yemen, Oman. But this is the choke point that they're referring to right here. Horn of Hormuz, or whatever, however you say that name. But this is what they're talking about. But look at where Dubai is. Dubai is right here. Look at where Abu Dhabi is. Abu Dhabi is right here. What's across from here? This is Iran on this side. Easy hit. UAE, easy hit. Doha, Qatar, easy hit. Kuwait, easy hit. You feel me? Look how long Iran's borderline is, bro. This is their borderline from here all the way to here. Pretty much it runs the whole fucking Persian Gulf. Plus some, because you start entering the Arabian Sea over here. Persian Gulf, Arabian Sea. I thought I was showing y'all the map just now. My fault. Good luck, M-Love.
On Dubai's international airport.
Yes.
From what I understand, Dubai is very, very much westernized, right? I know a lot of people have traveled to Dubai for business. So just to give people an idea, another one.
Abu
Go
Dhabi,
ahead.
Doha. Yeah, Abu Dhabi, Doha. And here's something that I got some pushback on today from others, and I understood why they were saying it. They asked me, why is Iran hitting countries that don't really have a grudge with it, like Saudi Arabia, like Qatar, like others? Why is it doing? I said, don't you understand? Most of those countries, Bahrain, for example, did you see when Bahrain was hit? The people were in the streets cheering. Most of those countries have leaders that are sitting on top of populations that have sympathy with the Palestinians and very little sympathy with their governments. So Iran has got a strategy here of hitting those facilities because their people don't care. They'll cheer when Iran.
You have sympathy for who? The Palestinians. Hear what he just said. Those people in that fucking... I'm about to get pissed the fuck off, G. Let's go back to the map. Fuck. These people in this region, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Afghanistan, Turkey, Egypt, Libya, Sudan, South Sudan, Kenya, Tanzania. They fuck with the Palestinian people. They didn't like what happened to the Palestinian people. So when Literacy getting smoke, they not tripping. They not tripping a little bit about Literacy getting smoke. So remember, I just told you about the bases in that region. They're not necessarily hitting the country itself. But what if Italy has planes on that base? What if America got planes on the base, obviously. France got planes on the base. They knocking these shits in. Imagine how much artillery you gotta have where you can do this for days on end. For days on end, we could do this. It is non-stop. They ain't stopped yet, bro. No one can agree to 2 states. Oh yeah. Oh God, bro. Don't even bring that shit up, bro. They don't bring that fucking shit up. Well, it shouldn't be they don't even know 2 state after they genocided them motherfuckers.
That's the foreign minister.
Yeah, the foreign minister, sorry.
Yeah, Arachi. Yeah.
Missiles cannot reach the United States by design, that you do not want to reach the United States, but you also said it would be necessary as a defensive vehicle that you could if necessary. So to be clear, are you committing that Iran is not and will not build missiles that would have the capability to reach the United States?
I can confirm, yes.
That's not their position, dog.
Sir, if that's a red line for you, why is attacking U.S. military bases abroad justified?
But because they are attacking us. They are U.S. military, installations, facilities, bases who are attacking us. We are under attack. Why don't you, recognize this fact? We are under the attack by U.S. forces in the region. So we have every right to defend ourselves. And how to defend ourselves? We attacked, the U.S. bases. This is obvious. This is a very simple fact. And I hope that, and I'm sure that people would understand that. We are not the one who attacked Americans. We are only defending ourselves.
He thinks our newspaper people and our TV people are smarter than they are. They don't get this. They simply don't get it. They've swallowed all the propaganda. They've swallowed it all.
Rachel Maddow right now is blaming all of this on the Gulf states, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. She's not blaming Israel or the U.S. government. She's blaming it all on the Gulf states. It's their fault that Iran was attacked.
Sabby, what?
Our paycheck comes from where. Indirectly, if not directly.
Exactly. And now, the craziest part about all this, which we did warn people would happen, is that U.S. troops have died now. So this is a new update. This came from U.S. Central Command. They said that 3 U.S., and the number continues to go up, by the way. At the time, it was 3 U.S. service members had been killed in action and 5 are seriously wounded as part of Operation Epic Fury. Several others sustained minor shrapnel injuries and concussions and are in the process of being returned to duty. Major combat operations continue. Okay, so anyway, back to what I was saying is that U.S. troops have been killed.
Yes.
And this is what we warned people that this was going to happen.
And they're going to be more. There are going to be more killed.
Well, to that point, this is what Donald Trump just said about the troops that were killed.
Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action. As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case. Earlier today.
So, Colonel Wilkerson?
As a former soldier, a lifelong soldier, really, with combat experience and so forth, he makes me sick. He truly makes me ill to listen to him talk. He does not give a damn about a single one of those young men and women who might be killed. Not a damn. He's the one, remember, who said something to the tune of, to his chief of staff, who was a Marine general, anybody that gets killed is a dummy. John McCain was a dummy because John McCain got captured and spent time in a prison. This is the man who uttered these words about true American heroes. And now he wants me to believe that he's grieving over people he sent into hell. When he said and promised again and again and again, I wish we could play some of his promises, that these were stupid wars in the Middle East, that he would never get involved in them, that he was going to get us out of that place. Where are all these promises now? Where are all the promises about not getting involved in stupid, idiotic wars? They're gone because he doesn't mean a thing he says, not a thing. And as a military veteran, that really makes me angry.
Yeah, considering he also ran on it. He ran on being the president of peace, right? So a lot of people, I want to get your take on this before I show the next clip here, what's happening, because people in Pakistan are also, they've had it as well, and they're coming out against this. Have you?
Yeah, I saw a video about this earlier. They stormed that, they protested in front of an embassy or something like that. Yeah, they tripping in Pakistan. By the embassy or the embassy? Yeah, the embassy they was at, yeah.
Heard from conservatives about, like, you know how we all feel on the left about this, but have you heard from conservatives and how they feel about a war with Iran? What have people told you, just like within like your personal circles?
Well, when I saw the poll results a few minutes ago, I had some doubts about it. So I started making a few calls, and I got the same thing from people I would call conservatives as I was getting from those poll results. Roughly 29 to 30% of the American people is all that supports this war. And they sort of span the gamut. I mean, you got a lot of people who voted for Joe Biden would support this war. Because they've all swallowed the hogwash. They've all swallowed the lies, and the lies have been reinforced, hammered home by Israel with lots of money behind them. Let's face it, our media today is virtually owned by Israel. I've had
a buddy bought TikTok. You dig it? And I think it just let him bought Paramount. So he got, was it WBN Paramount now? Is it WBN Paramount? I think WBN Paramount.
Conversations with senior editors at the Washington Post that just make my blood boil, because they will defend it to the nth degree that this or that is true, and I know it's a lie, and I know they know it's a lie. But it's not good editorial policy to go against Israel, the lobby, the Jewish lobby, the Israel lobby, as Mearsheimer likes to call it. You just don't do that. You might lose your job.
It's wild and crazy. I want to show people this as well. Again, this is how angry people are about this. In Pakistan, there were people protesting the Iran strikes. They were smashing windows at the U.S. Consulate. I want to show you guys this. Like, people are, this is, Donald Trump has really started a lot of damage within the past 48 hours. You'll see another one here. Like I'm telling you guys again, this is not just, it's not just Iran, the U.S. Embassy in Pakistan. Yeah, I wanted to get your take on this, Colonel Wilkerson, because it goes to show people again, like countries around the world, they're seeing this. Everyone sees that Israel and the U.S. were the aggressors. Iran didn't strike Israel or the United States bases first. They attacked them. They are the aggressors.
The aggressor in this, by UN standards, by international law standards, by our own standards, is us.
You know what's crazy? Those embassies are guarded by military people. So now these motherfuckers is in jeopardy now. You know what I'm saying? Just going to work, doing their everyday joint. The everyday shit that they do every day now, because it's tension right now. Now their lives are in jeopardy. Trying to see all sides of it, and too many sides. I mean, if your side is pro-peace, pro-war, anti-war, right? Anti-peace, whatever it is, like, that's your stance, and you got that stance for a reason. You smell me? So you gotta figure out. You gotta just look at it plain Jane. Plain as, if you look at it plain as day, then you can kind of figure out your own side. You know, and that's where I stand with it. I know what I think, I know what I believe in. I know how I feel about shit like this. You know what I mean? Everybody else gonna have their own opinions and their own takes on it. but what's yours, right? What is yours, and why are those standards and those thought processes and those opinions and perspectives yours? That has to be a reason behind it.
We had a conversation this morning about the War Powers Act, and I was telling this particular individual in Congress, why are you talking about the War Powers Act? How about the Constitution of the United States? We are waging war on another country that does not present a meaningful national security threat to us without the permission of the Congress, period. Don't tell me about the War Powers Act. I don't need that. The Constitution vests the war power in the Congress of the United States. Do you see them having voted for this war in Iran? I don't. Now, I don't know how they would vote because they're lick-spittle too. But there hasn't been a vote. We just went to war. This is unconstitutional. This is an impeachable offense of the very first order.
It's insane. And since you brought up the War Powers Act and the Constitution, I just want to show people what Marjorie Taylor Greene just said about all this.
So Congress is trying to call a meeting to actually have a vote on this right now. It was on the news earlier. I saw it while I was at work. They actually want to call a meeting so they could vote and let it be put on the floor, right? But America is very anti-war, bro. America is very anti-war right now. Like you heard Colonel say, the poll that they polled was 25 and like 29%. That's not a third. Like that's not a third of the people. Less than 1/3 of the people in America is jacking this shit. That's bad. Those numbers are horrible. And to his point, as time goes on, as Dallas starts to learn more or hear more, and I start to learn more and hear more, and Jihan and Reaper and Messi and Village, we hear and we learn more, and we get to see more perspectives, and we get to see more data and more evidence about what actually is going on. He's saying that the perspective is going to sway downward. It's going to be less than that 25%. It's going to be less than that 29%. More people are going to push towards being anti-war, anti-bullshit. You smell me? Oh, Dallas, I know you got a damn opinion. You're crazy, yeah.
You guys know that she resigned, but look at what she said. Congress is powerless, neutered, totally controlled by the executive branch as it obeys the White House. A complete waste of time, tragically. Why do you think so many are leaving? The White House didn't even bother to inform Congress about its reasons to attack Iran and barely informed 5 out of 8 of the Gang of 8. There should be a vote on the War Powers Resolution, but even that won't stop the administration from doing whatever they want to do. They do what they want, and you're a panicking or a traitor if you dare disagree with them on even just a few issues. She goes on to say, but it won't last. You can't bully and name call people into agreeing with you for much longer and expected all coalitions to go out and vote for Republicans again. People just stop caring. And I would say this is on both sides of the aisle. Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, as I'm sure you're aware of, they decided to come together on the Epstein situation, which I'll get to in just a second. But they also came together to try to force a vote on that War Powers resolution that you were talking about. And the reality is, Congress to me just seems spineless. Like, why is it just Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie? Why aren't people calling for impeachment? I'm curious, like, do you see that this is grounds for impeachment of Donald Trump?
It is. It is the most profound grounds. Just go back and read Madison. This is the most profound issue that the founders debated, and really why they put impeachment in there. Madison said the truest route to aggrandizement and to end of democracy and the republic was the war power. The war power in the hands of a single individual, which is why they made the Constitution like it is, that you need the Congress in order to go to war. The War Powers Act, in many respects, was actually unconstitutional because it attempted to amend the Constitution without having a formal process with 3/4 of the people voting for it. And, so the War Powers Act is fine. Okay, great. It was Congress's opt-out of enforcing the Constitution. But I like the Constitution. I like the original Constitution, which says you have to have a vote and it has to pass. Now, when we were trying to get the U.S. out of supporting that horrible war the Saudis were waging against the Yemeni, we got a vote in both houses. We had to twist Democratic arms. We had to twist Republican arms. Nancy Pelosi wasn't going to have anything to do with it because she thought Saudi Arabia ought to be, treated nicely. We shouldn't stop helping them while they were killing these people in Yemen. But we finally got a vote, and Ro Khanna was in the middle of it. So were a number of other people that I can't name really now. But what happened, though, was it passed in both houses. That's what would happen now. It would pass in both houses, and then you would get a veto from the Trump president because it takes a 2/3 vote, and you're not going to get 2/3 vote out of this Congress to get it passed. So that's the war power shouldn't even be used here. I applaud them for trying to do it, but it should be the Constitution. They should use the Constitution, and they should tell the president, we're starting impeachment proceedings against you for the most flagrant violation of the Constitution that we know, and that is going to war without the permission of this legislative body, and then start impeachment. But they won't. They won't because, they're all, like Marjorie Taylor Greene said, they're all lickspittle. They get their money from AIPAC. They get their orders from AIPAC. They get their instructions from AIPAC. They have their life made for them by AIPAC.
Yeah, I think, many of us that have been talking about that
damn AIPAC, boy.
Epstein files as well. We notice every time there's something damning that is revealed from the Epstein files that either implicates Donald Trump or his close buddies, he does something to turn your head away from that. In fact, Thomas Massie put out the statement earlier, PSA, bombing a country on the other side of the globe won't make the Epstein files go away any more than the Dow going above 50,000 will. So Thomas Massie knows what's going on here, right? Absolutely. I want to get your take on this as well. All this stuff that is being revealed via the Epstein files. Many of these things are things that Whitney Webb had reported on years ago and wrote about in her books as well as her articles. But some of these things, this is the first time I was hearing about. Donald Trump, his name has been redacted from the Epstein files. They have deleted files that mention his name. By they, I mean the DOJ. There's a number of people that are part of his administration that are also mentioned all throughout the files. But it's not just him. I mean, it's bipartisan. Bill Clinton's all through there, despite what he doesn't seem to recall all of a sudden. Yeah. And it just goes to show you this idea about the Epstein class. It's like, it seems like this war with Iran also seems to be some type of a diversion to get people to look away from the Epstein files. I
think you're right on the mark. I think everything Trump is doing, including this war on Iran, is a maneuver to try and get attention away from what is becoming a very desperate situation for a lot of very powerful people. It's almost a person a day that either resigns, steps down, leaves an important job or whatever, and that that's just the surface. And I think underneath that surface, which is salacious enough by itself, is Donald Trump and probably his wife and other people directly connected with Donald Trump. Some very important, rich people. And as long as that's the case, they're going to fight like hell and divert us from all manner of different things like this war in order to keep our attention off of Epstein, because that's what they're really scared of.
I agree. I think that I want to get your take on this as well. It's just, do you think more Americans are starting to wake up to the fact that the president is not really the one running the United States?
I do. I think they have an inchoate understanding of it. And by that, I simply mean they don't have a media. There's no media other than people like you and, the other podcasters and so forth. I saw today where Larry Johnson on Judge Napolitano had 800,000 listeners almost immediately. I mean, that's the craving that people have for the truth. And they're getting the truth more or less on social media or podcasts like your own or like the Judges or like some of the others, much more so. They're getting the truth from Tucker Carlson often now, which is a real odd thing to be saying, but they are. The old Fox guy who once was involved with the greatest liar in our media complex, Fox News. But he's, I think probably because he's a genuine Christian. And I might not agree with all of his interpretations of Christianity, but I certainly agree with him more than I do Ted Cruz or any of these people that take all their guidance from Genesis. It's a shame that the American people have been lied to for so long because they have no genuine information upon which to act. And so you can't blame them except for being a little bit naive maybe from time to time, because these people are getting elected over and over and over again. And many of them now don't even go home to town hall meetings because they know they're going to get ravaged if they do. All they do is count on AIPAC giving them enough money to buy their office. And that's what they do. They buy their office, essentially. This is a sad situation for the Republic. And the people need to wake up and they need to start being counted. and they need to start calling, and they need to start visiting, and they need to hammer their members of Congress. They need to hammer their senators day in and day out. I don't care how they hammer them on the telephone, emails, or whatever. They will respond eventually if enough people threaten them in terms of their staying in office. That's the only recourse that we have, really, when you think about it, is either threatening them enough to where they are changing in office in the way they vote, or they leave. And by the way, have you seen, Marjorie Taylor Greene talked about this, have you seen how many people are leaving? And generally speaking, if you talk to them, they'll tell you they're leaving. Tom Massey said this to me. Tom Massey said this to me and Ambassador Chaz Freeman in a meeting we had with him. We were talking to him about the incapacity of the Congress to do anything, and he agreed. And he went on about it for a good 15 minutes telling us what was wrong with the Congress. And we said, why are you still here? And he said, that's a good question.
That has to be a shit feeling, bro. It has to be a pretty bad feeling to be in the Congress and let's say you're not compromised. You're sitting in a room full of compromised people and you're hearing this shit constantly, day after day after day. You're watching their behaviors and their speech and how they get down and what they really be. That has to be a fucked up feeling, dog. MTG just banged out on them. She banged out, made sure she was secure for that check, and she just slid. I'm not mad at MTG for sliding out, bro. I'm not. I'm surprised I haven't heard a lot. I haven't heard a lot from Nancy Mace, to be honest, about any of this. I think she had like one monologue or something about the war. I think she had like one monologue, but as loud and outspoken as she is. And another thing too, dog, you go back and watch when he addressed the State of the Union, when he addressed the nation, right? The State of the Union. The only time that the Republicans and the Dems stood up and clapped together in unison, in agreement. Do you realize that was when he talked about Iran not having nuclear weapons, and then America making sure that Iran does not become a nuclear a state with nuclear devices, war devices? That's the only time. Go back and take a look. If you got some time, go back and take a look for that specific part. That's the only time the Dems and the Republicans stood up in unison. And now look what happened.
Sure.
So if you're really thinking about it, then if they were supposed to vote on this, they're probably going to vote yes. Keep putting down pressure. You feel me? On Iran. Just from that one glimpse, then I'm pretty sure they're going to vote yes.
But I think I'm making a difference, and I'm going to keep on as long as I think I'm making a difference. And look at him. He's a Republican, and he keeps getting reelected, and he doesn't have an AIPAC handler. He doesn't take money from AIPAC. So it can be done. It can be done. His is not the only sane district in the country, I hope, because they keep returning him to Congress.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there when you said that, like, we, especially those of us that are voters, we have to stop just reelecting these people just because. Like, that's something I've been trying to drive to people. Like, you don't owe them your vote. They're not even listening to their constituents. And you know, pay attention to the ones that are. And all these people that are leaving, it's a sinking ship, Larry.
Yes, yes. And so many people will tell you, well, I'm not going to vote for that person because he's a Democrat. Wait a minute. You're going to vote for the Republican because he's a Republican, and you're not going to vote for the Democrat because he's a Democrat, and the Democrat is saying he's going to act in your interest, and the Republican is not? That doesn't make any sense. Don't give me this party stuff. Give me what he's going to do. Give me what she says she's going to do. Give me what is real. Don't tell me about parties. Screw parties.
You're speaking my language there, Larry. Screw parties. No, that's a big part of the divide, is that people are just broken up into those camps. And so they're like, well, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat, so I got to support the party regardless who that nominee is or whatever.
The same shit we talk about all the time. The same shit that we talk about all the time.
But that gets us things like this, like what we have right now. Quick question here about the economy. I have a feeling that Donald Trump knows that the economy is about to go kaputs. And I feel like that's also part of his distraction, all these other things. He's bringing up, oh, let's look into aliens. Let's look into all these, just anything to take your attention away. And I just feel like you think people would just go up to him one day and just say, you know, screw you. Just get out of here. You're not for the working class. You're not for the people. You're for corporations and the Epstein class. And I hope more people realize that. I hope the farmers who went out and supported Donald Trump, I hope they realize just who he is actually working for.
They certainly should, because the farm economy is really hurting, really hurting. And the only reason they don't feel the pain as acutely as they would otherwise, and therefore it will come, is because he's subsidizing. He's got the Congress giving him so much money in subsidies. That isn't going to last, because our debt right now is so profound that it matches roughly, and maybe even in some categories exceeds what it was after World War II, when our debt was as high as in our existence as a national entity. We have $1 trillion interest payments now on our debt. Every year we have to pay $1 trillion. You know how we were doing that? We were doing it because people like the Japanese, the Chinese, and others were buying our debt. Bingo. Isn't going to happen anymore, even with our allies. And China has just declared that they are going to cement their power in the world with the #1 financial country in the world. They know they're the #1 technological, the #1 industrial, the #1 capitalist country in the world. And they are, by all the parameters. They're not the #1 financial country. Xi Jinping just signed a document, sent it out to all the Chinese bureaucrats, and said, now we're going to become the #1 financial country in the world too, and we're going to round off our power. Well, what does that mean? That means their renminbi, their currency, is going to replace the dollar. That means our debt is going to skyrocket in terms of our incapacity to pay it, because the way we would pay it, because we had the transactional currency, was that people would buy our debt and they would therefore fund our wars, fund our incredible debt. That's stopping. And once the renminbi becomes the world's currency, it'll stop cold in its tracks. I don't wish that on anyone, because that is going to be a tragedy. We're going to have something even worse than 1932 and 33. We're going to have a terrible situation in this country, because we're going to be flat broke.
Well, Colonel Wilkerson, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for.
Shout out to you, Sabby. Good job. Shout out to Colonel. Big salute to you, Colonel. Well spoken. I like it. Good job. Sabby, you did a good job. Questions were on point. Videos, you had document, you had material. Good shit, man. Good shit. Viewer discretion advised. We're about to take a look at some of these vids that we've been getting on the Twitter. I think I got some in the IG too. I'm not sure how many I have in the IG, but I'll pull that one too. Viewer discretion is advised. Viewer discretion is advised. It's just videos. You're not gonna see bodies. Not gonna be none crazy. But it's gonna be like rockets taking off and all of this shit. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Hold on, what? All right, here we go. I think I got some in here. I know I definitely got them on the Twitter though. Definitely got them on the Twitter. Oh yeah, let's look at Huckabee. Let's look at Tucker talking to Huckabee. Work. You know what? That song did pop in my head the other day. Real talk. It did pop in my head the other day. It damn sure did. Yeah, let's take a look at the vote. Take a glance at the vote here. Air Force Commander knocked off. Iran knocked him off. A strike. Yeah. One down. So this is when I saw this a couple hours later on, that's when they said Bibi got knocked off too. And I was like, what is me and Naomi was talking last night. We talked about all this shit. We talked about all of this. We ended up talking about religion and all this other shit, but we talked about all of this shit last night. And I was saying, if him and Bibi was together, then Bibi could be knocked. I don't think he's knocked though. That's why I put it on. I made a post about it, and that's all I did was like make a quick post, right? And I made it clear. I didn't say it happened. I made it absolutely clear that it was a rumor. I don't want to do fake news and pump shit out there that ain't legit. You feel me? So I did say, rumor has it, this is what's going on right now. I'm trying to figure out some more. I don't think he's knocked. I think he's still here. But honestly, I don't think he's even over there. I doubt that he's there. I think he is running this effort from a different spot, honestly. Also, Texas Republicans are paying for Jazzy Crop. Oh, fuck, doing that. Oh, yeah. She's running for a different seat right now, right? He's a press conference. Yeah. But you see, that would have still been before that news came out. So I was really looking. I was really looking true. And me and the homie was talking about it. And we kind of came to the decision that we don't think it is real. Because that would be crazy news. Like that news would set the world on fire. You dig it? Like that news wouldn't be spoken like a secret on a speakeasy type note. I think it would have been every single news channel would have woke up. Every single news channel would have woke up and broadcasted that immediately. Right? Viewer discretion advised, like I said. Viewer discretion advised. Let's listen to this guy. This dude's a piece of work, bro. He aggravates my soul. But let's take a listen. It's up, okay.
We never had war. Why do we have war?
Let me know if the sound is good, guys. Oh, I don't think I could boost the sound a little bit, but not a whole lot. So hopefully it's the sound is good for y'all on y'all end. Hit them buttons. Do need like, share, subscribe, comment, dog.
We're about to have one with Iran, it looks like. How many Americans do you think will die in that war?
I hope none. None died last year when we participated in the 12-day war. Not.
He's a...
One. You said 20,000 would die, and they didn't.
I said could, and they could have. And they could die now.
It's a fucking... What... I'm trying to stay in the lane, bro. I promise you I'm trying to stay in the lane. I'm trying to keep this shit in the fucking lanes. But this guy aggravates my fucking soul. My soul has a soul, and he aggravates the soul of my soul. Last time I heard from Blade, he was grinding it out, bro. He was working. But shout out to Blade, bro. We know you out there in the atmosphere doing your thing. This dude, Grunt. You mind if I'm gonna shoot him a message? I'm gonna shoot him a message later on and see what's up. This dude, oh my God, son.
Oh, and that's a real risk.
How many boots on the ground do you think the U.S. has supplied for Israel over the course of its life? How many times have we put soldiers on the ground for Israel?
Well, we had the Iraq War, which was for Israel.
No, it wasn't for Israel.
How was it for us?
Well, because it was a retribution against 9/11. Now, was it the best idea?
Was
Iraq. Mother.
Was Iraq involved in 9/11?
Our government thought so.
Why are 9/11?
I wish we never had war. Why do we have war?
We're about to have one with Iran, it looks like. How many Americans do you think will die in that war?
I hope none. None died last year when we participated in the 12-day war. Not one. You said 20,000 would die, and they didn't.
I said could, and they could have.
But
they could die now, and that's a real risk.
How many boots on the ground do you think the U.S. has supplied for Israel over the...
By our millions of Epstein...
That dude is like a pair of shoes, bro. He's not even a pair of shoes. He's just one shoe. What the fuck could you do with one shoe? Nothing. He reminds me of one shoe. Just a fucking waste. He grinds my soul, though. Oh my God.
Files still classified. What do you think that is?
I have no idea. I haven't kept up with that. I've never met the man. I don't know him.
You haven't kept up with the Epstein disclosure?
I mean,
he said Iraq. He did say, yes, you heard him correctly.
Only from a distance. I'm 6,000 miles away from D.C. these days. I'm pretty sure that there's so much going on.
The current president of Israel, current president, who I know you know, President Herzog,
know him very well,
apparently was at Pedo Island. That's what it says in the disclosures. And of course, we know that the former prime minister, Ehud Barak, was living on and off at Epstein's house. So still living high-level Israeli officials are directly implicated in Epstein's life, if not his crimes. So I would think that you'd be following this.
Only, I was not aware that there was any connection with President Herzog. I would be surprised to hear that, and knew there was about the former prime minister, who apparently had a lot of dealings with Epstein.
Business dealings. And by the way, I'm not alleging anything, but I mean, it's in the Epstein files. And I don't know that I've heard the current president of Israel respond to it, but he is listed as a visitor to Pedo Island. So that's kind of a big...
He's like a Jordan and like a shell toe. You had the right side for the shell toes, right? 3 stripes, old school Adidas. And then the other one is like the retro Jordan flights. It's a fucking waste, bro. It's a waste. Fucking clown. Let me close out this poll. What was the results of the poll? Some people are tired of Charlie. I'm not tired of Charlie, but 80% say yeah. All right, cool.
In the entirety of the world, there are about 16 million Jews total, and 8 million of them live here. The rest live mostly in New York or South Florida, and a few other places.
Okay.
So this is a small population of people. They have connection to this land, historically, biblically.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
If Bibi's family, we know they lived in Eastern Europe. There's no evidence they ever lived here. He's not religious.
But
in what sense?
How do we know that?
Do you have his family tree? No, we don't.
Do you?
He doesn't. So no one does. That's the point.
But
so how do we know that he has any connection to this land at all?
And if there has been a practice of Judaism and a connection to the language, the Bible, the land.
His ancestors didn't. He doesn't practice Judaism in any rigorous way. His ancestors didn't live here. They didn't speak the language, and there's no evidence they ever lived here. So on what basis does he have a right to be here?
Very much speaks the lange. He has fought for the land. His family has fought for the land.
Dodging a very obvious question, which is, where does this right come from? And the reason it's meaningful is because there are a lot of people in the territory that Israel controls today, particularly in the West Bank, who, through genetic testing, we can know their families have been here for thousands of years. We don't know whether they practiced Judaism, whether they were Samaritans, pre-Islam. We don't know that. A lot of them we know have been Christians for 2,000 years. They have less of a right to the land than someone whose ancestors, the only thing we know about them is they lived in Latvia or Poland. They're Eastern European. How does that work?
They're Jewish.
By what definition?
They're Jewish by their
But how do we know they have any connection
They're
to
Jewish
the
by
Jews
their
of the,
faith. They're
of the
Jewish
Bible?
by the connection to the language. Jewish by the connection to the Torah.
But how do we know that Bibi, specifically Bibi's ancestors, ever lived here? How do we know that?
I'm not sure if I understand your question.
How do we know if the Prime Minister of Israel's ancestors ever lived?
Maybe I could ask you, how do we know they didn't? I mean,
well, it's on the basis of the claim that they did that all kinds of things happen. People are displaced. There's a money flow. I mean, it's a big question. A lot hangs on this. It's not some theoretical thing like, oh, you know, did my grandparents do this or do that? It's like, no, we have a right to be here because my ancestors were here. Okay, how do we know they were here?
I'm totally unable to process what you're trying to get at.
That dude grinds my fucking soul. He's so trash. I got some let's look at this montage clip real quick, and then we'll go to the other videos in Twitter, and then we'll close out for the night. Thanks for hanging out. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all know it's a love thing from here to there. Exactly. That's not his real name. Thank you, Nat. Once again, viewer discretion advised. This is just, you're not going to see people being red rummed and bodies scattered and all the other shit. That's not what it is. This is a video about artillery. Word. Yo, it's action, bro. This is not the only. I got tons of these videos. Tons of them stashed. Let's switch over to the Twitter. The way you make me feel from deep down in my soul, I'm losing no control. That's the F-15. That's the F-15 they got Kuwait. They got struck in Kuwait. It's going down, bro. Like it's going down. They shaking shit up for real down there. Lighting one up. Oh, word. They wrecking shit up, bro. It's going down soon. Not that one. Not that one. They got a video of the supersonic joint. Where's the supersonic one? They got a video of the supersonic one. It's a monster, bro. Hold on, let me close this down before I violate YouTube. For real. Let me find it. It's a supersonic joint. Monster. The real deal, bro. God bless the troops, absolutely. And in reality, bro, regardless of where you stand, regardless of how you feel about any of this shit right here, you need to put your hands together or get on your knees and prostrate yourself and pray for people that are going over there and getting caught up in this shit, right? And the innocent lives that it's just a part of the bullshit, right? Innocent people are going to be knocked. It fucking sucks, but it's a real reality. So whenever you get a chance and you think about this type of shit, take the second thought and just send one up for them, for real. It don't gotta be long and drawn out. You don't gotta sit there and commit to 20 minutes of prayer and all that. No. Just tell the Almighty Creator that you pray for the innocent people that are being lost, bro. Where the fuck is that supersonic video at? That's the damage report, not that one. Is this it? No, that's not it. I'm trying to find this fucking video. Where the fuck is it? Damn. I support the truthfully, but I don't support. Yeah. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean, bro. It's like you're in a conundrum almost, right? You don't want it to be what it is, but the reality is it is what the fuck it is. You understand what I'm saying? So even if you're jacking it or you're not jacking it, the reality is that not just innocent people getting knocked off, but a lot of these warriors are gonna most likely suffer. I think there's like 4 right now. I think they said they got 4. Right? 1 is too much to me, in my opinion. 1 is too fucking much. What the fuck is this? Yo. Look at this shit. That's fucking ridiculous, dog. That's ridiculous. There's a supersonic video. This supersonic joint is stupid, bro. One is too many, G, exactly. 1 is too fucking many, bro. Some shit that motherfuckers could have chopped it up about. You hear me? That's how I feel about it. But We here. Oh, this is it. Found it. Look at this motherfucker, G. Did you see Iran use it in? That's you see, I saw a couple of those, but I don't know if it was them. Oh, this is propaganda. Of course, it's gonna be propaganda campaigns. Of course, they're gonna be propaganda campaigns. Absolutely. That shit is crazy. I've seen this video twice today already. If we defend ourselves in this business, yeah. People want to feel secure here, and that's across the board, right? When it comes to job, when it comes to finance, when it comes to safety, when it comes to your kids going to school, like people want to be safe here. They want to feel that, and from what we see, it seems like people don't feel that way, right? People don't feel like the people that they elected give a fuck about them. So it's a fucked up thing, though. Ain't no two ways about it. These videos are everywhere. Yeah, the fake videos, I saw a couple of those. The fake ones, yeah. This is the second one. I saw this one earlier too. But that's what's going down, bro. Right? Whether it's live video, reenactments of videos, we can't act like that ain't what that is. You feel me? Like, it's just going down. Right? There's people that ain't waking up tomorrow, you hear me? And as of now, nobody could prove that they have a nuclear weapon. That's crazy. Yeah. This whole defense system that Israel was supposed to have didn't work. Clearly, it didn't fucking work. It's from one of those Call of Duty joints. Okay. You can spend $1 million do this. But that's something, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, gang, that's it, man. We at the 2-hour marker. We're pushing the 2-hour marker. Make sure y'all hit the buttons on the way out. If y'all didn't hit them on the way in, y'all know it's a love thing for sure, man. My heart goes out to the people who are suffering innocently, right? My heart goes out to the people to the families. As of right now, it's only 4 families, right? Like, well, that's 4. That ain't, 1 is too much, bro. 1 is too much when this thing could have, this thing, in my opinion, could have been dealt with differently. My humble opinion, from my little chair, right in front of my little camera and having my little show, my humble opinion, this shit could have been handled differently, right? But my heart goes out to the families that lost their service members, right? My heart goes out, my prayers goes out, comfort, right, to the families who are losing innocent people. I wish it wasn't this way, but this is what it is, and this is where we're at today. You heard? Y'all know it's a love thing from here to there. Well, it's clean and all is fair. Welcome back to the town square. I'm Granny's baby. I am numero uno, aka Flaco Fuerte, your humble host that would always never do the least, but I will always make sure to never overdo it and do the most. You heard? Appreciate everybody for stopping by tonight. PBD is okay, but he's definitely hit and miss too. Like, he's okay. He's good. He's a great content creator. Do I agree with the shit he says all the time? No. But PBD is pretty good. Like, he's solidified. He's stamped. I can't say too many bad things about PBD, to be honest. He has a couple of bad takes here and there, but I probably got a couple of bad takes here and there also, right? So I can't hold somebody's bad 20% as who the fuck they are when they have a good 80%, right? He could have had a bad day. He could have had some bad coffee, right? Who knows? So with that same way, I think about myself, comprehending me and having grace and mercy for me. I tried to measure people the same way, with the same grace and mercy and understanding. And I think that is how I'm able to not judge somebody like fire and brimstone all the time. You're gonna get deported, speakers. Dallas, behave yourself, girl. But yeah, that's it. I try to have the same grace and mercy. And I try to extend it. Am I perfect at it? No, I'm not. But I try to. And that's all you get asking me, right? To me to give it an honest try. The same thing I ask y'all, just give it an honest try. Give it an honest try, and you know, nobody can fault you for giving 100% of your effort. But when you give half-ass effort, then you're supposed to expect half-ass results. You dig? That's all I got to show. I got hella Charlie Kirk clips about Iran and him talking about the Persians and what happened last year with fucking dumb Huck. That motherfucker. Oh, he gets on my nerves, bro. Yeah, what Huckabee was talking about is because it was a limited strike effort. It was no boots on ground effort, you fucking twit. He's stupid. Why would you even bring that up as a counterpoint conversation? It was specifically a limited attack, no boots on ground, no forward motion, nothing. Talking about how many lives were lost. It wasn't this motherfucker, bro. Oh my God. It's fucking stupid. What is it? Oh, the funny. Oh shit, thanks for reminding me, bro, to drop a funny before we roll out to switch up the mood. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Good play, G. My man. See, that's why I know y'all be out here. Y'all really got my back out here in these streets. Let me see if I can find something. Obviously, I can find something. I just gotta find a good one. Got a bunch of half-naked girls in this damn vault also. This is Jamaica. Oh, okay. This one's good. This one is good. Hold on. This won't be the funny. This is a good video. Listen up.
It's lovely and
super sticker from the Messy Machine. Thank you, love. I appreciate all the support. You know that.
I want some more motherfucking money. I want some more mother.
Always special when somebody opens up their wallet, right, and gives you that extra boost and that extra love, right? Instead of just hitting the buttons and liking and chatting inside the chat, pre-stream, during stream, and post-stream, that little extra effort is always dope, and I always appreciate that shit. You feel me? Thank you so much, my man.
Everyone in Jamaica who's reached out, either Irish people who've been there for generations or new Irish people living in Jamaica, or for people from Jamaica, Barbados, and the Caribbean themselves. Listen, thank you, and the nice comments. And listen, if people want to make fun of me, that's okay too, because there are a lot of bigger problems in the world, and a bit of laughter is a good thing, and it's I really, I feel loved. So just thank you to everyone who's reached out, because the messages I've got have been unbelievable. I've been invited to come to people, stay in their homes. People have sent me messages of thank you, and they said they're really impressed by what I said. So yeah, that's nice to hear. I think it's lovely, and to everyone in Jamaica who's reached out, either Irish people who've been there for generations or new Irish people living in Jamaica.
So he went viral for talking in Parliament, and there's like who? It was like basically if you never saw who was talking to you, you would think it was a Jamaican dude, and he does sound like a straight up Jamaican dude. So that shit was pretty good. All right, let's find a funny. Let's find a good funny. Let's find a good funny. I showed you the Simpsons one, the Black Simpsons. I showed you that one already. Okay, I got one. Hey, yo, relax. See, I want the real deal. Look at this goofy ass shit. Damn, it got music in it. Fuck. All right, so you heard the music.
Ooh, shit, these kids nowadays, I tell you, boy, these kids nowadays, boy, they don't give a damn. They done came and recorded in the bathroom while their mama in there. Oh, man.
Oh, fuck. All right. Hold on. I got something stashed. You know I got some bullshit in there.
Why are you gay? Even the conversations you hold all point to you being gay. The kind of clothes, even the games you watch, the jokes you make, everything about you is gay. You're talking polls, you're talking toys, you're talking... Goodness, why are you gay? Eh? You are gay.
Yo, Dallas, you gotta laugh sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta laugh at life, man. Sometimes you just gotta laugh at life. So you gotta laugh to keep from crying. At least that's what they say. You heard? Bunch of half-naked girls. Damn, I need to clean this damn vault. This vault raunchy. Damn, this vault's filthy. Damn, I really did. We went crazy in this damn vault the other night. Oh, this is an annihilating video I said all about. Hold on. Laugh now, cry later. Yeah, you gotta do something, G. This is annihilating in the video.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Wait.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
I really love my hair.
Wait, Melissa, come
on, Melissa.
Oh, come on.
I want to be in it. It's so pretty.
Oh, wait. I got it. No,
Come on,
I
Mimi.
can't.
Come on, Mia.
Come on.
Come on, get in the photo.
What?
What's
Yay.
wrong? Okay.
Oh, wait, pretty.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Audacious,
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
You ain't
I really love
lying.
my hair.
Wait.
That motherfucker's so fine, boy. Have mercy. Damn, we really went through this damn vault like that, huh? I gotta clean it up then. Get it out of there. Why are you gay?
Scripture is found in, wait a minute, look at here, boy, look at here. Yes, sir. Woo! Don't sit here and try to act like you've been saved all your life. Our scripture is found in.
Ahead of the sexual. So if he was ahead of the sexuals, bro.
Yes, I got it as a drop, though. You know the shit, mine. You know the shit's mine. Come on, cuz. I'll be out here grinding in the background, cuz. I think that's it for the vault. But obviously I got more shit in the vault. But it's hella raunchy shit. I gotta clean that vault up. Oh, this one right here. All right, this is it right here. This is gonna be the funny. Damn fucking music, bro. I hate this fucking music. Louisiana Mayor. Yeah, for sure. She was tweaking, bro. I got a drinking. Yeah, okay, so you know what happened? All right. No. People say I got a drinking. My man playing paper the whole time. Yeah, I can't deal with these fucking humans, bro. Y'all humans off the chain for real. But that's it, gang. That is it. That is it. That's all she wrote. I got that video is too crazy. That video is too crazy. Jim Carrey one. Y'all seen the Jim Carrey shit? That Jim Carrey shit is wild. But yeah, gang, that's it, bro. Y'all know it's a love thing, man. From here to there, we're always clear and all it's fair. Y'all more than welcome to pop up and kick it at the town square. As long as we hit the red buttons, it's going down. Tomorrow, I won't be here tomorrow. I'm not shooting tomorrow. If I do shoot tomorrow, it's gonna be late as fuck. I doubt I'm shooting tomorrow. So the next time you will see me, it's going to be Wednesday. Right? Unless something pops up and plans change, I'm not shooting tomorrow. But in the meantime, and in between time, make sure you enjoy the other content creators that hang out over here and support. Show them some love, right? And that's all we really got at the end of the day, right? All we have for real that we could depend on, right, is love and unity, community, right? Peace and prosperity. In this world that we live in, man, it's turbulent. It's very, very turbulent. And we lose our way sometimes. But once you acknowledge the fact that you're not perfect and you subjugate it, right, it's acceptable to fuck up and make mistakes and all that shit. But you know you have a guiding light and a guiding force, right? And you look to that guiding light, that guiding force, and say, redirect my compass to the true north. And you say it with humility, right? And you say it with honesty. And your path will be directed back. You hear me? Y'all know it's a love thing. I see y'all soon. Take care of people around you. Take care of yourself so you can take care of the people that surround you. And make sure you love yourself so you can love the people that is around you. This shit is not to make you scared, but just to make sure that you are prepared. And when you're ready, you don't ever have to get ready. Y'all know what? I'll see y'all soon, bro. Thank you for all the support. Appreciate all the love. Appreciate all the comments. Appreciate all the likes, the subs, that open up the wallet, all that good shit, dog. Peace.